Are you struggling with how you're going to tell your parents that you don't want to go to college? You're not alone.
We know that for a majority of young adults, telling their parents they don't want to go to college can be a difficult conversation. In this video, we're going to help you create a plan on how you can approach that hard conversation with your parents and get your message across effectively. Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Philip.
And we teach you what you need to know about being a grown-up.
Because adulting shouldn't suck. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click on that bell so you can get the notifications when we put out some new videos. And in the comments below, let us know if you're struggling with this problem or not.
If you've watched our other videos about college, then you know we think college is a waste of money and time unless you're going for a very specific degree that's needed for careers like nursing, teaching, engineers, doctors, lawyers, etc. But for most degrees, it's not worth it. Times have changed. Trades pay really good money. You can get certifications online or take online courses from people who are the best in their industry and get the knowledge and skills necessary to be successful in a fraction of the time for way less than you'd spend on college. And you'd skip the 10 to 20 years of repaying student loans. If you want to know more about the struggles people have with paying back their student loans or why we think that the whole college system is predatory on young adults, check out the video, Are Student Loans a Scam, after you get done with this video.
Before you have this conversation with your parents, you're going to need to be able to answer these few questions to yourself. What's the ideal outcome of this conversation? What do you hope to accomplish? Will this be an emotional conversation for you, your parents, or both? What will be your attitude during this conversation? Are you going to be nervous, excited, scared, defiant? How will your attitude affect the conversation? How do you expect your parents to respond? Why do you expect them to respond that way? Do you think that there's a chance they could respond differently? And lastly, what concerns or fears do you think that your parents will have about you not wanting to return to college?
The first step of having this conversation with your parents is be prepared with a plan. You want the conversation to go smoothly. The two main things you're going to want to cover: what are your reasons for not wanting to go to college, and what are you going to do with your time instead? And I guarantee your parents are going to ask both of those things. Those are key details that they're going to focus on. So make sure you have those answered, because they're going to ask that question or those questions. So what are your reasons for not wanting to go to college? Everybody has different answers. But some of the common reasons people don't want to go to college are it's too expensive, it's not for everybody, technology has changed, you don't need a college education to be successful now. The majority of employers are going to hire people without degrees. Even companies like Google, Facebook, and Tesla hire people without degrees as long as they can demonstrate their skills for the job. Whatever your reasons are, make sure you write them down in detail.
After you tell them why you don't want to go to college, they're going to want to know what you plan to do instead. You need to have a solid answer for this, not just for them, but for yourself. Are you going to do an apprenticeship? Are you going to go to trade school? Get a job right out of high school that has upward mobility? Do you want to be an entrepreneur and start your own business? Whatever it is that you're going to do, you need to have a realistic plan on how you're going to do it. So for example, let's say that you start your own business as a photographer. Your parents are going to want to know how you're going to do that.
A realistic answer could be something like, I'm going to keep working at whatever job you're working at, and over the next 6 months, I'm going to save 80% of my paycheck. And during that time, I'm going to buy some digital courses on photography from whoever the best people are in that area, in that industry of photography, whether it's weddings or babies or brand events or whatnot. I'm also going to be saving up to buy entry-level camera equipment that's good enough for now, but I'm going to plan to upgrade to this equipment later once I'm at that professional level and I have the money coming in. In order to generate business, I'm going to join local networking groups and use social media to build up my personal brand. I know it won't be easy, and I know it's going to take time, but I want to invest in myself.
And while that answer might satisfy most parents, some will still want to know more. They'll want to see a well thought out and in-depth plan. And if that's your parents, just know that they want what's best for you, so they want to be confident that you have a legitimate plan of action, not just some pipeline dream that's unrealistic.
Having a well thought out plan will show your parents that your decision to skip college wasn't made lightly. You want them to see that you've given it a lot of thought because it's your future and you want to live life the way that you think you're going to be happiest.
The second step is to anticipate their arguments. You can pretty much guarantee that they're going to come back with something like, well, what happens if that doesn't work out the way that you want it to? Or what's your fallback plan? Which are both legitimate questions. There will be some level of risk associated with whatever you do in your life. This is a good point where you can hit them with some facts about college. The average 4-year state college costs over $100,000 if you graduate in 4 years. The average person takes 6 years to get their 4-year degree. And it's estimated that 40% of people borrow student loans are in default, which means that they can't pay them back. If you want some more talking points for this, we've made another video called A College Degree is Useless. You can check that out after you finish this video.
Depending on your parents and their views, they might come back with some outdated mindsets that don't apply to today's workforce. And that's okay. Just expect them to say things like, you're never going to find a good job without a college degree. You won't make as much money. You're going to miss out on the college experience. Or something really dumb like student loans aren't a big deal. Everybody has them.
They'll probably focus on limiting your future career options, earning potential, your lack of maturity to make this type of decision, or how you haven't taken their concerns or sacrifices they've made into your choice. If the conversation goes down that road, try not to take it personally. They grew up in a world where college was the way that you earned a decent living. But times have changed, careers have changed, and we no longer live in that same world that they had grown up in.
Once you've finished planning for what you're going to say, it's time to move on to step number 3, which is figuring out a time to talk to them. This isn't a conversation you want to just bring up casually. If you just bring it up out of nowhere, your parents are probably going to feel caught off guard, and they're going to be more likely to be closed-minded or even defensive. Say something like, hey, mom or dad, there's something really important I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have time later today or over the next couple of days where we can sit down and talk for a bit? Your parents will probably appreciate that approach, and it lets them know that there's something you've been thinking about that's really important.
Step number 4 might be the most important step of all, which is speak their language. Here's a little pro tip. Your delivery is everything. It's not what you say, but how you say it. This is communication skills 101. Are your parents more logical or are they emotional? Are they quick to react or do they take more time and have thoughtful conversations? Understanding how they communicate is crucial to having effective communication with them. If they're more emotional, then using logic won't work as well. And if they're more logical, then being emotional won't work either. So this is where you need to know your audience.
Step 5 is be confident. You've given this decision a lot of your thought. You've planned out your future and you've come up with some steps on how you're going to make it happen. You've anticipated your parents' questions and taken the time to form the conversation in a way that they'll be the most receptive based on their communication style. You need to trust yourself and have confidence in your decision. Don't second guess yourself during the conversation. Go over your talking points ahead of time. Recite them over and over until you know you can deliver your points clearly and effectively. Be ready to respond to your parents' criticism or doubts. And give them plenty of time to voice their concerns and don't cut them off. Part of being confident is also looking confident. You need to look your parents in their eyes when you're having the conversation. If you're standing, stand tall. If you're sitting, sit up straight. Don't cross your arms either because it makes it look like you're not open to conversation.
Step number 6, stay calm. The only thing that you can control in this situation is how you choose to respond. You can't control how your parents react. If they get angry, emotional, or take jabs at your plan, try to stay calm. You getting upset will only make things less productive.
Step 7 is controlling the conversation. This is a conversation about your life, not theirs. You want to guide the conversation to where your parents feel like their perspective is valued and understood. After you present your plan to them, let them talk and express their feelings or concerns. And you need to be an adult and listen. You should also have questions for them. Questions like, What do you think about my reasons for not wanting to go to college? Or what do you think about my plan? Be open if they offer their help. Ask questions like, is there anything you think I left out of my plan? Or what do you think might make my plan better or more achievable? And then you need to finish the conversation by asking for their support, whether they agree with your decision or not. Let them know how important it is that you have their support.
The last step is to put your plan in action. Show them that you're serious by letting them see your work. Don't skip out on college just to work part-time, blow all your money on eating out, and waste countless hours on social media or video games. You need to get to work right away. Because if you don't, your parents are going to think you're full of crap and continue to treat you like a child instead of a young adult who is capable of making their own decisions. So don't let that be you. You have to work hard to make your dreams become a reality because nobody else will.
As a quick recap, be prepared with a plan. Anticipate your parents' arguments. Schedule a time to have the talk. Speak your parents' language. Be confident. Stay calm. Control the conversation. And put your plan into action.
We wish you the best of luck with your conversation. And if you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments and we'll do our best to respond. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, make sure that you watch our other video, 12 different ways to invest in yourself.
And we'll see you in the next video.